Kelly Rowland is now calling out Beyonce over her alleged ties to Diddy, even claiming the former Destiny's Child frontwoman was linked to Aaliyah's death. Reports suggest Beyonce has been helping Diddy by reaching out to people and pressuring witnesses ahead of his upcoming trial.
The end of the day on Wednesday. It reads, the court has evaluated each of the factors that it must consider under the relevant law. 1, nature and circumstances of the offense charged. 2, weight of the evidence against the person. 3, history and characteristics of the person. And 4, nature and seriousness of the danger that would be posed by the person's release. And it also says that the court has also reviewed the information submitted by Combs and the government across all 3 bail hearings in this case. As you remember, Sean Combs was denied bail both by a magistrate judge and a district court judge. Judge Subramanian writes, the court finds that the government has shown by clear and convincing evidence, so that's the standard, that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community. In support of this finding, the court provides the following.
Kelly and Beyonce have been connected for nearly 3 decades, after rising to fame together in Destiny's Child as one of the biggest girl groups ever. Kelly witnessed everything Beyonce was involved in, and now she's finally speaking out. Allegedly, Kelly has been trying to distance herself from Beyonce ever since leaving the group, but has never truly been able to break free.
Wanted those stories for years. You know what I mean? Right. I think the people wanted those stories for years, and that's just so sad on them because it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. And I just think it's so sad that we live in a world where people don't want to see women get along and encourage and empower.
Let me be quiet and send your message and tell us how you feeling and family and how you feeling about everything.
Well, 1, this is beautiful what you're doing, like I said, and 2, we all said it before, we are so grateful to all the healthcare workers. I just keep thinking about the fact that they are with so many people and putting...
Throughout her career, Kelly has endured Beyonce's control, with little chance to build a life of her own, leveraging Diddy, Jay-Z, and powerful music executives. Beyonce allegedly blacklisted Kelly to ensure she'd never reach the same level of fame. No matter where Kelly turned, Beyonce reminded her she was pulling the strings behind the scenes. Eventually, Kelly addressed it all in her track Dirty Laundry.
Actress Kelly Rowland stormed out of the Today Show after she was asked questions about Beyonce. Initially, it was reported that Rowland, a former member of Destiny's Child with Beyonce, was upset over a subpar dressing room. Now it's being reported it was questions from Savannah Guthrie about you-know-who that led to the drama.
What do you think about your friend Beyonce? She's like your sister. You guys literally grew up together. She's stepping into country.
So proud of her.
I know, but were you surprised? And what do you think about it?
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
So happy for her.
Looks like Rowland wants to change the subject and talk about her new Netflix movie, Mea Culpa.
She's back a little later this morning, guest hosting with Hoda. How fun is that?
We will see.
Some say hearing this tease pushed her over the edge.
We're going to chat about that. We're going to chat about her music career and what she thinks about Beyonce going country.
Uh-oh, she immediately scowls, then mouths the word no.
I talked to my sources and they said that actually Kelly was very upset with Savannah's line of questioning. She normally asks interviewers not to mention Beyonce, otherwise every single interview is going to be about Beyonce.
Beyonce was reportedly jealous of Aaliyah after Jay-Z began showing interest in her. Digging deeper, even Aaliyah's husband, Dame Dash, has suggested Jay-Z played a role in her death and that it was all because of Beyonce. She allegedly couldn't stand the thought of anyone outshining her, whether it was Aaliyah or even Kelly Rowland, and she was determined to destroy their careers.
The record with him, with Jay, that's why I was that was almost like one of the things where I was just like, he's out of here, Jake. I just let it go because I couldn't believe he did a project with her, with R. Kelly, knowing that he had raped my girl.
For me, because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right. There's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music. And that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous. And everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy were tied to what's described as one of the biggest blackmail and trafficking operations in Hollywood and the music world. Jay-Z and Beyonce, ALLEGEDLY, used their power to pressure celebrities into partying with Diddy, who would then drug them and secretly record videos for blackmail. But unlike Diddy, it's claimed that Jay-Z and Beyonce got their hands even dirtier, allegedly taking part in murders themselves.
Necessary court fees and litigations because Jay-Z wants me broken, stopped, or under his control. And it ain't gonna happen, Sean. I'm never gonna be under your control. Never. You need to learn how to control your wife and her friends and their mouths. Because you got Beyonce in the Beehive looking real fucking dumb right now. 5 million unfollowed, and that number's gonna go up with every image in one of those freak off tapes. And God help, if anybody here how that bitch really talks about people with her, they'll start unfollowing by the tens of hundreds. Again. And they should. Because the truth is, the only reason they were following was because of the witchcraft and the spells that were being pushed out through the media. Y'all ain't fans because y'all really love them and y'all really think they're the best. You're fans because you fell for the hype. And they are hypes. I know I can sing. I've been able to do that my whole life. And they've been trying to stop me my whole career. Because see, unlike Beyonce, I'm not willing to hurt people to get famous. See, that's the part of the story that they're not telling y'all. That the more terrible you are, the more they'll
This conspiracy runs far deeper than most realize. Diddy may be the face of it, but the FBI is targeting an entire ring of collaborators who have been blackmailing and exploiting minors for decades. Many of them were caught on tape, and once those recordings surface, it won't just be Diddy facing prison time.
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them. And it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So, this is going to be a slow developing, a case here because we're just getting started. And I don't see how this trial begins.
Criminal defense attorneys have noted how unusual it is for both the FBI and Homeland Security to be tied to a sex trafficking case, hinting at something far bigger behind the scenes. That's likely why Diddy has been repeatedly denied bail. It's already documented that he was close with both Donald Trump and Barack Obama. And now, even members of the British royal family are allegedly being dragged into the scandal.
What about the situation that Diddy? Let's say this. Something else is going on. They searched with a warrant his premises on the West Coast, right? They searched his premises on the East Coast in Florida, right? On the same property that the premises was located that they searched in Florida, he had a second mansion. They didn't touch that one. Why not? And when they walk out of there, they got a small trash bag and they have a medium-sized cardboard box. What was it they seized that would fit into those items? I have a sneaking suspicion from my background in criminal defense that what they seized was some evidence that was very incriminating to other people. Now, after they seized the evidence, they had no probable cause to arrest him on any crime. He hasn't been indicted. They talked to him at an airport before he got on a private jet to fly to an island that has no extradition agreement with the United States. Have you heard anybody trying to prosecute him? Not at all. So what did they do? See, the feds are interesting. Who served the search warrant?
Homeland Security.
Now, what the hell do they have to do with that? That's the FBI.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are scrambling over the bad publicity tied to Diddy's case. Since the raid on Diddy's mansion in September 2023, the spotlight has turned on them as well. The two were among Diddy's closest friends, making it hard to believe they didn't know what was really going on. The question is, were they quietly staying silent, or were they actively helping him?
Sims, potentially, do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
yes.
A new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting AirTag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
Jaguar. I've got to leave it there. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for caring.
I I do care. Thank you very much.
More tapes keep surfacing, pulling in even more celebrities, with reports claiming that 8 of Diddy's infamous freak-off recordings have been turned over to the FBI. These tapes, said to have come from someone close to his late ex, Kim Porter, ALLEGEDLY, expose some of the biggest names in music. Jaguar Wright, once Jay-Z's backup singer, has already claimed that Jay-Z recorded her while the act was taking place.
Statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
Females. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let
be.
me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it.
Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, described in detail how Diddy collected leverage on anyone he needed favors from. Allegedly, everyone who worked with him had some kind of dirt attached. Diddy believed that one day he'd need protection, and the tapes he gathered would shield him. But in the end, those same recordings are now the very evidence that could put him behind bars.
Of it, nobody came out.
They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America like that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not going to come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them. And they praying that they not on the tape. Doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey, buddy, we got you on this tape. And girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not going to show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. That's when they're going to start talking. And they're not going to be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. But they didn't think they was being watched. And Brother Love was watching.
Yeah, I mean, TD Jakes, he hasn't even came out and said anything. And him and Diddy was real cool.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, man. And I know the people in the congregation over there is shaking in their boots because this man then led them probably allegedly led them to damnation because those people's hearts are going to be broken if that man is seen on those tapes doing anything. Because people always put
their faith in the pastor instead of putting their faith in God. And what they need to do is understand that he's just a man. And he has a history. It's not looking too good for him.
So you feel like celebs are worried that they might be on tape?
Oh, they know. That's why they ain't speaking up or saying nothing. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party, but I know I ain't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form of fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the drugs in you, they're a little loose, bruh. They let down all their inhibitions. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you got to take your clothes off. He said that
those speaking out against Jay-Z and Beyonce may be putting themselves in danger. Jay-Z allegedly loved Aaliyah, yet still had her taken out, so imagine what he might do to someone he doesn't even like. In a recent Cam Capone news interview, Big Homie CC warned Jaguar Wright to be cautious and urged her to stay safe from whatever Jay-Z could try.